So YouTube has this thing where you have to have up to 50 subscribers before you can do live. So I thought, I'm going to work around this because I'm a little bit faster than that. I'm going to do a video on my phone, and then I'm going to do uploads. That way I can share it to my Facebook, and then share it to my YouTube, because it can be uploaded. So anyway, I like my new haircut. It's a little shorter. There's a girl in Winnipeg that does intuitive hairstyling, and it was interesting because my experience the other day with her showed me that I still have some space to grow in terms of not always going with what I think somebody else wants from me, but learning to ask for what I want from me. Anyway, I'm wearing my cosmic sweater that I got a while back, and it feels nice and cozy. And I've got a couple of decks of cards in front of me, so I'm going to do a reading. And because I know I'm not live, I can take my time. I've been stuck on this card deck for a little while with the Oracle Starseed. Not that I'm stuck on it, but it's really kind of like the deck that has been really calling out to me lately. So I'm going to do a reading that I pulled the other day for myself. Literally, the first two cards flew right out of the deck. And when that happens, I don't tend to question why, because I know that they have a particular meaning. And usually, like, when you're looking at a deck, the first card is usually your past card, and it's what you're either leaving or just getting out of. And then your next three cards are kind of like what you're experiencing, and the last card is usually like an oversee. It oversees the whole deck, your whole reading. So the Inner Earth card out of this deck, in case you don't know which one it is this Rebecca Campbell, the Starseed Oracle. So, and the first card that flew out of the deck is Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. And it's really beautiful. If you can really see all that blue, all the trees in it, the water, the reflections. And you can kind of see that there's fire in the background. As every time there's fire, it's kind of like a new birth, a new creation. So it's time for like new to come out of the old. So, and lately I've been like doing my own phoenix of the old dying away and the new coming out, and being less afraid of asking for what I want and what I need. And like my guides have been really specific over the last couple of years, saying to me, you ask for such small things. Start asking for big things. So I've been asking for bigger things. And even like one of the dogs that I used to watch regularly, it was funny. I snuck him into my apartment when I was watching him in 2018 early, because that was one of the most brutal winters ever. It was so cold, and they were selling their house, so I didn't want to sit in my car and waste gas, and I didn't want to sit in my car in the parkade. So me and this 80-pound dog made our way up to my apartment. And I went in, snuck in. The first time we did it successfully. Security must have been away from the desk. And I lived at the Courts of St. James, and they had really good security there. I really liked that. and they had cameras on all the time, so they didn't catch me sneaking into the service elevator, getting up to my floor that I lived on, and then back down to my car and leaving. The first time they didn't catch me doing it. The second time, well, let's just say I got into the elevator on the sub basement, made it to the basement floor, and security caught me. and, and I just said to the guy, because I'm friends with him, yeah, this is not my dog. I'm watching him. It's cold outside. Can you please let me go to my apartment for 15 minutes? We'll be out of here before you know it. So he did. And anyway, long story short, that's my rebellious way of starting to learn to ask for what I want. As that dog talked to me when we walked into my apartment, he looked at me and he's like, for such a big creator and the magnitude that you could create at, you live in such a small space. Like, what are you doing? Why do you choose so small? So I thought it was really interesting. Anyway, my interpretation of this Inner Earth card is that what I've been going through, and I'm sure a lot of you have been going through a lot of really challenging things, is with this ascension and all the Schumann resonance and all the things that are happening on the planet, the shifts, the changes. I don't need to get into it because if you know what I'm talking about, you know you know. And there's no amount of convincing I can do for anybody to say that there's things changing, because you walk your path and I walk mine. And we equally respect each other. And if we don't cross paths, we don't. So, anyway, this card says, Inner Earth, also known as Asgartha, is believed to be a subterranean world where within the planet itself, many cultures mention it in their stories. It's about the times of Lemuria, Atlantis, and Eravanta were there. Hindu and Celtic lore mention the caves and the entrances to the inner world. Tibetan Buddhism often talks about the city of Shambhala, which is located inside the Himalayas. There are solutions beyond what you can perceive, surprising outcomes to your problems and situations, resolutions that are in the best interests of all involved. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck, and have no idea what to do, be assured that there is a way out. You'll survive this and things will work out. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. So it's okay to feel stuck. Everybody goes through pauses. We all go through pauses. Soon you'll see that there's solutions available. And sometimes it's best to do nothing rather than try and do half-assed things and create a whole bunch of other shit that didn't need to be created. So the second card is the Void. Stop. Embrace winter. The cosmic womb. It looks like this. And I sure have been feeling like I've been in the void, because my pause sure has been a pause. So the womb feels like it's the fertile darkness where all things originate and seeds grow. It's comforting and intimidating. It's freeing and daunting. It can feel overwhelming and small and huge. It's where faith lives. It's where you learn to surrender. And I learned today, literally, I forgot about this part. Surrendering includes acceptance. You have to accept things where you are. and surrender to them. There's a polarity there that I had been at, where I was surrendering, but I wasn't accepting it. I was fighting it. So when I surrendered to it, something switched and changed. So anyways, the void often surfaces at the end of the chapter or life phase. It's where we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. Let me tell you, letting go is not that easy when you know what you think you know and you are scared to let go. You hang on to things that you probably shouldn't have hung on to, but because they're comforting and you're scared, you're going to hang on to them for dear life. So I encourage you to let go. And what you don't know might show up as something that's really a blessing in disguise. I know for myself, letting go of the idea of being hyper independent and not asking for what I need and doing a shift of, hey, what do I want? Like, what do I want here? And going and getting what I want really shifted something. So ask yourself, what do you want? Be brave to go get it. Earth School is the next card. And you can see that she's kind of flying and landing into the earth. Pulling this card may mean that you were called to embark on a new area, and try not to look at things for getting it wrong. I've talked about this before in my other videos. You're not getting anything wrong, you're having an experience. And from this experience, you can take it, you can tweak it. And from that experience, you can take it and tweak it and figure out what, not necessarily figure anything out, but see what shows up. And you don't always have to try and get it right. Star Family is the next card. You can see the explosion of stars. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Stop being afraid of calling in support is my message to myself. Like, I really learned that there's a lot of hyper independence that I've been built in with, where I've been told to not bother anybody, don't ask anybody, don't bug anybody for help. But there is a polarity there that I had to destroy. And in my very first upload on YouTube, there's a video scene of Link and Joe Wilson off of Grey's Anatomy. Check it out. It really had a deep message for me, where both of the characters were uncomfortable at not receiving help for themselves as they were so used to giving it. So where's the line? Do you always not ask for help? Or do you open yourself up to asking for help? And where do you ask? How do you ask for it? So the Star Family, these are the people that are from your group that are looking for you. And at some stage you were part of a soul cluster, a gathering of souls that broke away from each other and becoming individuals. So I've learned with my human design that I am here for the individual and I am here for the collective, having a profile of 2-4. At learning how to be here for myself has been quite challenging when I've been programmed to be there for everybody else. So there's been a polarity that I've had to bust through and really learn that it's safe to ask for help and safe to ask for people to show up for me and safe to experience what I'm experiencing and not be so scared of what is showing up. Everything happens to us and for us, and it's not always necessarily bad. So sometimes it can feel that you're looking in a mirror at somebody, and truthfully you are, as you are me and I am you. And we're having our own soul experience, but we're reflecting each other. And we're reflections of each other. So call in support. And it might be as simple as realizing when you were little that you needed to change the word. Like the other day, I learned that the word protection needed to be changed for me so that I could address my inner child's needs and shift it so that I could feel safe again. And when I did that, it changed everything. So, and it's not wrong to play around with how you're adjusting things to make them work for you. Because at the end of the day, your experience is a drop in the bucket, but your ripples do affect everybody else around you too. And your experiences do change the world for the better. Choose joy, choose happiness, and be brave and ask for what you want. And recognize who you can share things with, and how to share things, and what to share. The other part of this is instinctively knowing your path. When your star family dies, you may feel it like a member of your star family dies, you may feel it regardless of how long you've known them. A certain soul mourning or soul breaking experience happens. Like for me, losing my Baba, she was part of my soul family. I know it. The way she defended me, the way she protected me when I was growing up, the things that she did for and with me. And it's very interesting watching how when you grieve things like that, what shows up with it. The last card is called, and it's got almost like a gateway, and she's walking towards the gateway. It's called your soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. You may not be stepping up all at once. There's probably going to be some pauses. And the way things are done now, a pause isn't a bad thing. You came to Earth with a double mission when you're called as a soul bringing a shift into consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust that your soul calling is the word for it's encoded, calling you toward it because it's for you and it's encoded with the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some of you may be aware, others of you may be starting to uncover it. You're called to remember that your soul intelligently chose perfect conditions to carry out your soul mission and your soul gifts. If you're being called towards a creative project, passion, or adventure, this card is your confirmation. Also, don't be afraid to go and get what you might want. I went and got myself a body pillow the other day. It's shaped like a U for a pregnant woman. I'm not pregnant. So I sleep with my pillow at the head and the U shape is at my feet. And in the middle is me with the pillow on either side as it's holding me. I sleep so well now that I'm being held. That might be what you need. And it's not wrong to to get what you need. Withholding it withholds it from all the collective enjoying it. And that's the one thing I keep on reminding myself is that I don't have to go through hell or create hell for myself by withholding what I really require. Because that's already been done to me. So if I continue to do that and perpetrate that to myself, then I'm creating suffering where it's not necessary. So I encourage you all to be bold, be courageous, and get out there and live your life and ask for what you need and what you want and be brave enough to go and get it. Love y'all. And again, I'm going to put this on YouTube. Hit subscribe if you like it. And I will be adding more of these reads as I go. And it might be different decks next time. This just happens to be the deck that I am using for now. Alright, signing off. Love you lots. Bye for now.